Hi, my name is Nahmaira Akira binti Yusri Azli. My number entry is A22A0705. So I represent 4 management figures, namely first Frederick Taylor, second Harry Fayol, third Mary Parker, and last is Max Weber. The first management figure is Frederick Taylor. Frederick Winslow Taylor is his real name. Was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. As a teenager, Taylor spent time studying and traveling in Europe and enrolled in Phillips Exeter Academy in New Hampshire in 1872. After graduating, he was accepted into Harvard Law School but was unable to attend due to poor eyesight. Then, instead of going to university at that point, Taylor filled various manufacturing-related roles, eventually earned a mechanical engineering degree from Stevens Institute of Technology in 1883 and became chief engineer at Millvale Steel Works in Philadelphia. After resigning in 1819, he became general manager of manufacturing investment company but left the company in 1893 to develop the profession of engineering management consulting. From 1806 to 1807, Taylor was the president of the American Society of Mechanical Engineers and later became a professor at the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth College. Taylor is best known for his 1911 book, Principles of Scientific Management. In this book, he presented numerous principles of management that were based on the scientific method and could improve the efficiency and productivity. Due to this work, Taylor is known as the father of scientific management, which is also known as Taylorism. Theory that Frederick Taylor was doing is Principle 1 is develop a science for each element of work. Second, scientifically select, train, teach, and develop the worker. 3, cooperate with the worker. And 4, divide the work and responsibility. Reason why Frederick do this theory is because Frederick Taylor used his engineering background to develop his scientific management theory. He believed that the use of engineering principles would lead to a reduction of waste and an increase in production and efficiency that would benefit not only the business but employees and society in general. Advantage from this theory can enhance production. The harmonious relationship between the management and workers assists in production in the organization. Second, ability to control. Employees become specialists in their field as they do the same task repeatedly. This makes it easy for the manager to have control over employees. Third, decreases inaccuracy. With better planning and improved decision making, the accuracy achieved. Disadvantage for this theory is require huge capital. The establishment of work study, planning department, training of workers and standardization requires more money. Second, management takes control. The management takes complete responsibility related to the control and planning of workplace activities. Third, planning reduces productivity. Thus, the capability to plan is an advantage. The downside of planning is that it makes work inflexible and rigid. Third, planning reduces productivity. Thus, the capability to plan is an advantage. The downside of planning is that it makes work inflexible and rigid and may lead to carelessness and dissatisfaction. This direct to less productivity. The next management figure is Harry Fayol. His real name is Julius Henry Fayol. Was born in Galata Ottoman Empire and raised in France. After graduating from mining academy, he worked as a mining engineer for Bourgis Rambo. eventually becoming managing director in 1888 and saving the company from bankruptcy. By 19 years under Fayol management, the firm became one of the largest producers of iron and steel in France and regarded as a vital national industry. He began garnering attention after publishing his theories in a 1808 paper, and his work culminated in the world-famous book. As a result, this piece of work, Fayol became known for his administrative theory, also known as Fayolism, and as the father of modern management. Fayol have made his 40 principles of management. Among them is discipline. Employees should follow instructions and follow procedures to run the organization. Subordination of individual interests to the general interest. Second, remuneration. Workers must be paid with fair and equitable remuneration. Third, initiative. Employees are encouraged to have their own freedom in completing their tasks or plans. Fourth, esprit de corps, emphasizing the spirit of cooperation and teamwork for task completion and strengthening the organization. Advantage from this theory is Fayol gave much of the basic terminology and concepts, which would be elaborated upon by future research, such as division of labor, escalation, unity of command, and centralization. Fayol was the first person to actually give a definition of management, which is generally familiar today, namely forecast and plan, to organize, to command, to coordinate, and to control. Fayol also gave much of the basic terminology and concepts, which would be elaborated upon by future researchers. Henry Fayol's theory is extremely comprehensive as a way to deal with management techniques. It is also the most used because it has been proved to work. It's being comprehensive as it covers just about anything one might need to do in a management position to ensure the success. Disadvantage for this theory. First, the first weaknesses of the theory is that it's still based on human. As human, we are naturally going to make mistakes. The theory works on the basis of having harmony among people in which unity forms to create a strong management team. However, when mistakes are made, it can undermine the entire strength of the team. Second, absence of attention to issues such as individual versus general interest, remuneration, and equity suggests that Fayol saw the employee as paternalistic and by definition working in the employee's interest. Third, Fayol does mention the issue relating to the sensitivity of a patient's needs, such as initiative and esprit de corps. Establishing a sense of belonging within the organization creates a sense of unity and moral. He saw them as issues in the context of rational organizational structure and not in terms of adapting structures and changing people behavior to achieve the best fit between the organization and its customer. Next management figure is Mary Parker Follett. Mary Parker Follett was born in Quincy, Massachusetts on 3 September 1868. She died on 18 December 1933 in Boston, New York. 1898, she graduated from Radcliffe College, known as the modern mother of technology. She was an American social worker, management consultant, and philosopher, involved in community, recreational, educational, and advocacy groups where she formed her ideas of participatory democracy. Author a number of books and numerous essays, articles and speeches on democracy, human relation, political philosophy, psychological, organizational behavior, and conflict resolution. She published several books, which is The Speaker of the House of Representatives, 1896, The New State, 1980, Creative Experience, 1924, Dynamic Administration, 1941. Theory of Mary Parker is principle of coordination. First, direct contact. Second, early stage. Third, reciprocal relationship. And fourth, continuous process. Mary Parker Follett created a leadership theory because leaders should value group power over personal power. This is said to be so because her theory suggests that a true leader creates power for the group rather than keeping it for himself. Therefore, the organization does not exist only for the benefit of one person, but is for all employees in the company and customers. Advantage that we get from this theory, the importance of collaboration between employees and teams. This theory is very important to encourage cooperation and help build team spirit in the workplace. This can create a productive workplace atmosphere. Second, Mary Parker Follett emphasized personal management, which is the practice of understanding and developing the skill and abilities of employees. This can help employees build a strong team culture that is beneficial to both the organization and its employee. And last, Mary Parker Follett theory also emphasized communication on and feedback loops. This can help ensure that everyone is on the same page and that everyone is able to contribute effectively to the organization's success. Disadvantage from this theory, the lack of technology considerations in her work. Mary Parker Follett work predates the digital revolution and as such does not take into account the role of technology within a business. Her limited scope, Mary Parker Follett focus is on personal management and collaboration, but she does not address the important areas such as finance, accounting, or marketing. Third, her reliance on moral and ethical guidelines, while Mary Parker Follett emphasizes on collaboration and personal management. Is important, her reliance on moral and ethical guidelines may be seen by some as outdated and overly restrictive. Last management figure was Max Weber. Max Weber's full name is Maximilian Karl Emil Weber. Was born on April 21, 1864 in Erfurt, Prussia. He was the oldest of the 7 children of Max Weber. He was a German sociologist, historian, jurist, and political economist who is regarded as among the most important theories of the development of modern Western society. His ideas profoundly influenced social theory and research. While Weber did not see himself as a sociologist, he is recognized as one of the fathers of sociology, along with Karl Marx and Emile Durkheim. His father was a wealthy and prominent civil servant and member of the National Liberal Party. In 1882, Weber enrolled in the University of Heidelberg as a law student. After a year of military service, he transferred to University of Berlin. In 1886, Weber passed the examination for referenda, comparable to the Bar Association examination in the British and American legal systems. Throughout the late 1880s, Weber continued his study of law and history. In the years between the completion of his dissertation and habilitation, Weber took an interest in contemporary social policy. In 1888, He joined the very first social politics. In 1893, he married his distant cousin Marian Snitger. The couple moved to Freiburg in 1894, where Weber was appointed professor of economics at University of Heidelberg. Reason why Max Weber do the theory is because of pure curiosity clearly lays out that every rational organizations must have a set of rules and regulations. These rules and regulations must be followed without any fault. This ensures uniformity in the business and the staff members know what is expected of them. Advantage from this theory is rules and regulations. Clearly state rules and regulations in most cases allow for greater adoption within the bureaucratic structure. This reduces the scope of non-adherence to the framework of rules and protocols. Second, decision making. Hierarchy provides for a top-down management structure. Decisions generally come from managers to supervisors and so on down the ranks of the organization. Third, efficiency work is efficiently performed under the supervision of immediate managers in the hierarchy, and competency increases. Disadvantage from this theory is nepotism. Nepotism in bureaucracy is often a problem. The manager sitting on top may favor their own people and help them rise quicker than more disciplined individuals. Second, compartmentalization. Jobs are divided across categories, restricting opportunity for collaboration and performing tasks in other categories. For bureaucrats, compartmentalization is a psychological defense mechanism. Therefore, it keeps conflict tough and feeling separate. Third, red tape. Bureaucracy, by its very character, follows a certain set of rules and regulations. As a result, this imparts a lack of flexibility and can often lead to inefficiency. Accordingly, government bureaucracies have become inefficient means of red tape that waste taxpayers' money. As a result, appetites and industry no longer characterize government bureaucracies. Further, this red tape wastes taxpayer money towards accountability and acts against the public interest. Differences theory between Harry Fayol and Frederick Taylor is Harry Fayol introduced the concept of general theory of administration. Frederick Taylor laid down the concept of scientific management. Harry Fayol emphasized the working of top-level management, whereas Frederick Taylor stressed on the working of production level management. The scientific approach allows a open avenue of social conversations and is less segregating in the employee pool. Bureaucratic styles are very specialized and every job role has a predefined strict set of guidelines with little to no wiggle room. Government use this style of management with very rigid principles and workplace rules and regulations. The scientific style can adapt and change process while also working collaborative towards higher output with lower costs. Conclusion for this presentation, that theory that I choose is theory Harry Fayol. Fayol created 14 principles which he believed outline the basis for strong and successful companies. I am confident that every individual involved in art management works can apply the management theory more effectively and at the same time and increase the vibrancy of the country's creative industry. This management concept can also be applied in any other form of job management apart from the creative industry. Some question the validity and applicability of administrative method as raised by Fayol more than 100 years ago. However, this continues to be a reference and impact on the organizational process of society today. Brunson 2050. Some writers acknowledge not only Fayol's theoretical contributions that enable the development of certain administrative methods, but also their efforts to formalize and teach administration. Parker and Ritson 2011. After I read all the theories of these figures, it was found that Henry Fayol theory is widely used to advance an administration in a company or school administration. That's all from me. Thank you.